Got me loving you, loving you. Got you loving me, yeah. Got me loving you, loving you. Got you loving me, yeah.
I told you how to figure out what time it is. Start at 12.
Darishone, how I move this over here?
What?
This right here.
Move it what? Move what?
Over
Where?
here. To the side.
Should be able to just do that.
Hey, yo, if you see what they say, it's something on the right, that's right. Believe in the woman that might. You believe in love, you walk in it. When you walk in it, when it's authentic. When it's authentic, when you stand in it. When you stand in it, you don't fall in it. This single stage and day. Yeah. Real love, I embrace it. Yeah. I ain't never gonna fake. Never. It's in my heart, don't chase it. No. This single stage and day. You gonna learn about patience. Stay in tune while you wait. This single stage and day. Real love, I embrace it. It's the highest elevation. Stay in tune while you wait. Single save and day. This single save and day. Yeah, this single save and day. Real love, I embrace it. That's the highest elevation. Stay in tune while you wait. This single save and day.
Oh, catch it.
I love that though. He threw down on that, didn't he?
We did.
He really did. I'm gonna go ahead and tag some people in here. Go ahead and be throwing down.
Hey, yo, if you see what they say, it's something on the right, that's right. Believe in the woman that might. You believe in love, you walk in it. When you walk in it, then it's authentic. When it's authentic, you can stand in it. When you stand in it, you don't fall in it. This single stage and day. Yeah. Real love, I embrace it. Yeah. I ain't never gonna fake. Never. It's in my heart, don't chase it. No. This single stage and day. Yeah. You gonna learn about patience. Yeah. Stay in tune while you wait. Yeah. This single stage and day. Real love, I embrace it. It's the highest elevation. Stay in tune while you wait. Single save and day. The single save and day. Yeah, the single save and day. Real love, I embrace it. That's the highest elevation. Stay in tune while you wait. The single save and day.
I love that. Stay in tune while you wait. It's the highest elevation.
Oh, yeah. Easy up. Good job, J-Bo.
Shout out to J-Bo in these ales. Your favorite cousin.
Hey, yo, if you see what they say, it's something on the right, that's right. Believe in the woman that might. You believe in love, you walk in it. When you walk in it, then it's authentic. When it's authentic, you stand in it. When you stand in it, you don't fall in it. This single stage and day. Yeah. Real love, I embrace it. Yeah. I ain't never gonna fake. Never. It's in my heart, don't chase it. No. This single stage and day. Yeah. You gonna learn about patience. Yeah. Stay in tune while you wait. Yeah. This single stage and day. Real love, I embrace it.
Tag you tonight. Hey man, why you don't be getting on when I tag you on here, man?
Because normally when you tag me, I'll be out somewhere or doing something or driving, most likely.
Real love, I embrace.
I'm always in transit.
The highest elevation. Stay in tune while you wait. This single save and day.
I had like that, Renee.
How do they get that to repeat? So I don't want it to repeat.
You don't want it to repeat anymore?
Until I don't. I want it to repeat right now. How do
I don't know. It depends on your player. Right here, repeat.
Right. Well,
so you'll hit these 3 dots.
Okay.
And repeat.
Hey, yo, if you see what they say, it's something on the right, that's right. Believe in the woman that might. You believe in love, you walk in it. When you walk in it, then it's authentic. When it's authentic, you can stand in it. When you stand in it, you don't fall in it. This single stage and day. Yeah. Real love, I embrace it. Yeah. I ain't never gonna fake. Never. It's in my heart, don't chase it. No. This single stage and day. You gonna learn about patience. Stay in tune while you wait. This single stage and day.
I didn't get to go because I had to work
Real
with the
love,
girls.
I embrace it. It's the highest elevation. Stay in tune while you wait. Single save and day. This single save and day. Yeah, this single save and day. Real love, I embrace it. That's the highest elevation. Stay in tune while you're waiting. This single save and day.
Come on in the business. Once you hop on, just go ahead, tag and share. I'm reaching for the wrong thing. Sorry about that. I should have just asked you to give it to me. Excuse me for reaching over like that. Once you hop on, tag and share, make a comment. Let us know that you are in the building. Okay. Go ahead, tag and share once you hop on. That's how we know that you're on and that you're watching. You know what we do here at Single Sage and Dating. We have a good time. Yes, we do. So once you just hop on, just go ahead and tag and share, make a comment. Just a little bit. Once you hop on, just tag and share, make a comment. Let us know that you are in the building. I did not tag your mom, but it's all right. Guys, once you hop on, just tag and share. Yeah, you making me laugh. Once you hop on, just go ahead, tag and share, make a comment. Let us know that you are watching. Let us know that you are in the building. Thank you for tuning in to Single Sage and Date. Girl, I'm looking over here. Oh my God, I'm over here.
That's funny. I mean, you know, that's what happens when you're super advanced. There's a lot of cameras.
I'm used to being over here, and I'm writing and saying stuff. Anyway, hop on, guys. Just go ahead, make a comment. Let us know that you're in the building. Thank you for hopping on. Thank you for tuning in to Single Sage and Date, where we give you tools that you can use. Our motto is not about what you did yesterday, 2 days ago, 5 years ago. It's about what you're going to do moving forward. I always say it takes a two thing, it takes two to make a thing go right, just like it takes two to make a thing go wrong. So we need to just come on into the building. Single Sage and Dating is just go with it. No, it's not. So go ahead and invite everybody that you know.
Tell us too. Y'all opinion count. We want to know what you think.
So just invite them in. We're gonna have a good time tonight. Now I want to say thank you to everyone who has already scrolled through the page and liked it and followed it and shared it with your family and your friends. Don't forget that part. Share it with your family and your friends, okay, that you think will benefit from being a part of this community. If you haven't already, I need you to go check out that YouTube channel.
Check it.
That Single Sage and Dating YouTube channel. And when you go check it out, I need you to do 3 things. I need you to hit that like button, share button, and subscribe button.
Like, share, subscribe.
And while you're there, go ahead and drop a comment. So I want to say thank you to everyone who has already. Have you already done it?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. To everyone who has already done it, I want to say thank you for your love and your support of the dream and the vision that the Lord has placed on me. Now, I don't know if you know this or not, because you ain't been tuning in. You ain't been tuning in while you wait. I need to turn this up so you can hear it.
See, what had happened was, that's the first thing people say when they got an excuse. See, what had happened was,
I don't know if you know this or not, but Single Sage and Dating got a website.
I don't. But what is it? What's the website? Let us know what it is.
It's single-save-and-dating.com.
Single-save-and I can't even repeat it. Let me know.
She been tuning in. Watch wait. Anyway, it's single-save-and-dating.com. So yeah, go ahead and check that out. So you can see what all I put, the Land Foundation Life Center and Single Save and Dating. I put it all together so you can see what we have going on and all the things that we do. Now, I bet you don't know this either. Single Save and Dating got an online shop.
No, I didn't.
And well, you can get, you need to go check that out and grab you a Single Save and Dating t-shirt.
I want a shirt.
We got shirts, we got hats, we got hoodies. Go check it out. We got the tote bags. Okay. Oh, did you see the little bag, girl? Oh, I might have to get you one for Christmas. I might have to get you one for Christmas so you can be sporting that Single Save and Dating. Single Save and Dating. So silly. But anyway, I gotta tell you how to go check it out. You gotta go to single-save-dating.myshopify.com.
See, that's a lot.
That's right now. My niece getting ready to combine all that together. Okay. So but you can still go to it.
Okay.
So you can go to single-save-and-dating.myshopify.com.
Go check it out. Check it out.
Grab.
I'm gonna check it out. I'm gonna check it
Look,
out.
grab.
I'm gonna check it out.
Grab.
I'm late, y'all. So don't be late like me. Go check it out. Go check it out.
Go grab. You use
I'm gonna grab something.
Please don't get me in trouble, Lord Jesus. Now, y'all know it don't take much to get to save today. But we're going to have a good time tonight. Y'all go ahead and tag and share. We're having Sister tonight with one of my wild sisters. Thank you for being a part of that. It's just, it's just awesome. I love my sister Tanya, doing great work in the community. Yeah. So I always try to give her a shout out on here.
Shout out to Tanya.
I love my sister. I love all my wild sisters. You know what I like about wild sisters? They all have something going on. Yeah, they all positive. Nobody trying to compete with nobody. Everybody in their lane. They know their lane. They stay in it and just do their thing. Yeah. So that's what I really love about it. But anyway, and not, go out to the community and things like that as well. So, yeah, I always give her a shout out. I love my sister and love the work that she's doing. I encourage her to keep on doing it. I believe in her and I believe in all the sisters in the group. Yeah. And guess what, single, saved, and dating community? I believe in you too. Yes, I believe in. I tell you all the time, there's nothing but OQP people here at Single Saved and Dating. You know what that means?
What that means?
Only quality people.
Ooh.
Mm-hmm. So you want a quality mate?
A quality person.
You want a quality mate? Just come on over to Single Saved and Dating. Hey, Single Saved and Dating.
I'm not about to fool with you, Renee. Y'all, I don't act like this on a regular basis. I promise I don't. Maybe I do, but Renee bring it out of me. It's her fault.
I have that way with people. But guys, once you hop on, just go ahead, tag and share, and make a comment. Let us know that you are watching before we get into this topic. But Darishone, you want to go ahead and introduce yourself? I mean, you're not new to the community, but you've been on a couple times, but just refreshing us.
Well, I'm not the best at that because I don't like to talk about myself. But hi everyone, I'm Darishone. That's it.
No, Darishone, that's not it.
What? That's it. I'm Darishone.
And what else do you do? Like Darishone, you in school? Come on.
I am. I'm in school. I'm Darishone. I'm in school. I have a job. I'm a mom. I'm a superhero. If you didn't know. No, I'm just playing. But no, I mean, I don't know. I don't know what to say.
Well, you always have on your answer machine, I'm busy out saving the world. You know what I'm going to say to you today?
What?
Well, you need to quit saving the world right now and answer the phone.
No, Renee, because I called you back. See how she played me, y'all? You see how she tried me? But it's okay. I'm not going to say nothing. I called you back, though.
Yeah, you did. You did call me back. I'm going to be good. So are you ready for the questions tonight?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Guys, y'all need to go ahead, tag and share before we get into these questions tonight. They're going to be questions about relationships, about dating, just common questions, not nothing digging. Not tonight anyway. Okay.
She a journalist over here. She do her research.
Yeah, I do. I do not. Yeah, you're right. I can't argue with you on that one. I can't. Yeah, you're right about that one. Okay, so tonight we're just going to ask Miss Darishone some questions. I'm just building up the intense. Yeah,
oh gosh. Yeah. Look,
guys, go ahead and
me nervous.
Give up all the hearts. Go ahead. Let's get the energy up in the room. Let's go ahead and encourage my sister. I'm sorry, I'm moving this thing around. Should I be typing over here instead of right here?
No, it's fine.
Okay. Because I know you fixed it and everything. Guys, I need y'all to be giving some hearts right quick. Get the energy up going in the room. Hearts, and let our guests know that we're happy to have her with us tonight. I can't type and talk.
I can't either. It's okay.
So guys, go ahead and be send up the hearts for my sister as we getting ready to get in this. Let's get the energy up in the room. Let's make her comfortable for being a guest. Yeah, go ahead and breathe. Deep breath. Yes, he's gonna be all right, gonna be all right. The first question I want to ask you is, do you think or believe that there's a right and wrong way to date? If so, please explain.
Do I think that there is? Ooh, that's a good, interesting question. You know what? I'm gonna be 100% honest. So for me, I was single for 10 years, right? And throughout that time, I did not date. Because I feel like one of the things that I was miseducated, uneducated, whatever word you want to put right there on, is the idea of how to date, and the idea that it is okay to date. Like, because I was thinking that, it's put in your mind that, oh, you're supposed to sit and just wait for Jesus. Somebody just gonna randomly come up. Like, and then
we talk about that all the time on here. I'm so glad you get that.
And so, like, that was one of the things that I feel like is kind of taboo. That's not really talked about in the church. That if you are a person that wants to date, that it's okay. So, and I feel like now at the age of 30, yes, y'all, I'm 30. I know y'all don't believe it because I look so young, I know, but I am 30. And so at 30, I am learning things that I feel like I should have learned in my 20s. So do I feel like there is a right and wrong way to date? I feel like there are boundaries that you should set, because you know what you want to accomplish with what you're trying to do. So I don't want to necessarily say there is a right and a wrong, but I do want to say that depending on what you're trying to achieve, there are certain things that you should put in place, if that makes sense. And even like, going through certain things and seeing that I didn't have certain stuff in place, or that I did, and I like that I had this here, or that, dang, where did this come from? Like, so, but I do feel like there isn't a right or a wrong, but depending on what you're trying to achieve, determines the way you want to date. Mm-hmm. So yeah, that's my answer. Hope that makes sense.
Guys, if you have any comments or anything that you want to put in there, please put the comments and share them. We welcome them tonight. But I'm gonna say I'm so glad you hit that, because Jonathan and I have went over that and went over that and went over that, because as a matter of fact, we talked about it last Saturday, didn't we, Jonathan? Because a lot of the women, what I realized last week, that they're operating in fear, but they saying it's fake.
Right. It's not.
And they saying it's God.
It's not.
But they really operate in fear. Mm-hmm. Oh, I don't want them to see what I look. Oh, I don't want them to know this. Oh, I don't want. And so they're really guarded.
Yeah. It's a crippling thing. It's a crippling thing. And it's like, because ultimately, at the end of the day, something that I'm learning is, when you are seeking a mate, you want that person to be your friend. Mm-hmm. Like, you want to be friends with that person first. And so if I can't be who I am, if I don't even know how to be your friend, how can I expect to be anything more?
Exactly. That's what yes. Me and so have been saying that. That's
something that I'm learning. Like, in the sense of, but even in that, and then I realized, even, going through my process now, that there are a lot of fears that I didn't even know were there. Like, and it's like, it's crazy, because it's like, dang, I shouldn't have this. And why is this coming up? And why am I dealing with this? But it's like, throughout that, even though you took this time, you didn't take the time to develop the skills that needed to be developed. Like, because I was more fearful of walking into situations. It's crazy. It's I don't know. I don't want to get to, but
a lot of women are there.
Yeah.
And they saying, I know, I'm just waiting, I'm just waiting on God, and they saying it's God.
Yeah. But and one thing that because I'm really big on Black love. I love Black love, right? And granted, I love all love. Let me not say, because somebody might take that wrong. I love all love, but I love Black love. And so it's crazy when I see so many beautiful Black women still single. And so I began to ask the question, like, God, why is this a thing that's so prevalent amongst the Black people that I've seen? I can't speak for everywhere, because I've only been in Gainesville, Georgia, Beaufort, Norcross, those areas. Haven't been California or, whatever, anywhere else. So I can't speak for the whole, United States. But the Black women, a lot of them that I've encountered, whether I know them or just something I've observed, a lot of them are single. And I'm like, why? Like, you know, why is that a thing with us? And then whereas I see a lot of women of other races who are not. And it's just like, what's missing with us? You know, that makes us to where we're still out here doing it by ourselves. So I don't know. Haven't completely gotten an answer. I don't know if it's fear. Like, you know, if we've been taught a certain thing and, you know, we've been given this certain, well, don't date, don't do this, just do these things and somebody will fall out of the sky for you. Whereas these other cultures are okay and open to dating. You know, I don't know what it is.
It's fear.
But so yeah, if any of you have an answer, please feel free. Give it.
It's we've been going over this and over this and over this since I've been trying to figure that out. Wow. Let's see. Yeah, we've been going over that topic over and over and over. I didn't even know you was going to take it there when I asked you.
I wasn't trying to, but Diamond, I'm glad you understand, girl. I'm glad it's not just me, because sometimes I'm like, is it just me that sees these things, or is it really something valid, you know, with what I've observed? So thank you, Diamond.
Yes, guys, y'all, please, we welcome your comments tonight. Please, we welcome them. Which leads me to,
oh God,
this is something that came up, and I think I wasn't aware of this one. And it's when we had a guest on, it was when Let the Men Speak.
Mm-hmm.
And something came out that Black women have a hard time, or women in general,
mm-hmm.
have a hard time asking for help.
Ooh. Do I think that's true? I don't know. I mean, I wouldn't necessarily say we have a hard time asking for help. I think that as Black women, we've been conditioned to learn how to just do it, how to figure it out, how to make it work. Like, you know, because again, an issue, and again, haven't been everywhere. So I'm not speaking for everything, everybody. This is not the end all be all, but just from my observations, let me just clarify that. I feel like a lot of Black people have grown up in homes without fathers. Yes. So a lot of Black women have had to step up and be the father and the mother within the home. So yeah, we have more of a just do it attitude, like, you know, and it's like, and it's not that we have issues asking for help, but it's just that we've been conditioned to know that if it's not done, or to feel like, let me say that, not to know, but to think that if we don't do it, who's gonna do it? So instead of moping and having an excuse, we just gonna figure out a way to make it happen. Like, you know what I'm saying? I got 3 kids, or how many ever I got, like, you know, and I need X, Y, Z, boom, we're gonna figure out how to make it happen. It's a trait. It's a trait. So I don't think that it's necessarily that we don't want to ask for help, or that we have an issue asking for help. Sometimes let's just do it. Like, you know, whatever. But even in that, if you're around a Black woman and you see she need help, and maybe she don't know how to ask help, well, why not just help? Like, you know, why do we always have to ask for what's evident that's needed? Like, you know, even if it's not being asked for, if you can see that this is something that's necessary, why not just do it?
I know the couple that was on, that was one of the things that was said that, you know, and let me say this, being at the age that I am now, I do have a hard time asking for help.
See?
I really do. And it's because, you know, I was raised by my brother.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I always say that, but it's true. And he drilled it in our head, like, you gonna know how to take care of yourself.
So you just do it.
You gonna know how to take. And it wasn't like I could sit around and be like, oh, I'm a girl, so I can't do that. Right. I'm a girl. Right. It didn't work in that house. It didn't fly in that house. It was like, I don't care if you is a girl.
Right.
You better get out here and change this tire.
Right.
You know, you better get out here and see how I put these spark plugs in this car. You want to go somewhere, don't you?
But seriously,
it was like, you better get out here and pump these brakes.
Right.
We got to bleed these brakes. You know, you want to go somewhere. You know, you better get your tail out. You know,
look, I might not ask for help on that. I might just have to pay somebody.
So it was like that. So I think we do kind of have a hard time asking for help, because when you say that it's being conditioned, when do you know how to turn that condition off then?
I mean, see, I
you
feel like
went into a relationship condition.
I feel like it's a play on words though, because I don't feel like I have a hard time asking for help. I just feel like my initial response isn't to ask for help. My initial response is, okay, let me go to the drawing board. How am I going to do X, Y, Z? Because I'm a single mom, you know, so I've done this by myself for 11 years so far. You know what I'm saying? So my initial thought isn't, okay, well, let me go to this person to figure out how, because I need to pay or I need to do.
Let me iterate something. You might could have had an easier time if you was able to ask. Wait a minute. Let me tell you why I say this. Because the scriptures say we have not because we ask not. And since I've been taking the love challenge, like Friday, I'm trying to keep it together today. I just broke down, like, because I've been just meditating on the love scriptures and just really getting in them and saturating myself in those. And it's starting to open up a whole nother way of being for me. And so the scriptures say we have not because we ask not. So we either gonna believe it or we don't. So me not being able to ask for help, really that's a wall of protection for me, because I hate to ask you and then you get an attitude. You know, I hate to ask you and then you run around and tell everybody.
Right.
I hate to ask you.
True. That's
and
true.
then you be acting like you don't want to do it.
Right.
I hate to ask you and then you go around and you do it.
Right.
But you go around and tell everybody, you know, honey, I had to help Renee and she always needed help. She always wanted something. See, that's the reason why I don't ask for help. Right. And that's pride.
Yeah, it is.
And that's pride.
It is.
And that's a wall.
Yeah.
That I have up. But God said, if you would have, but see, you got some people that you could ask.
Right.
That will be there for you. I'm one of them. That's how I know that.
True.
I'm one of them. My son, one of them. Your mom, one of them. You got plenty of people around you that if you called and asked and made it known that you needed something, if they could do it, they would definitely do it and not be out talking about you.
I agree with that.
Big deal about it.
I agree with that. I agree with that 100%. I do agree with that. But again, it is. I don't think it's just. I mean, I get what you're saying because I do see how it could come off like that. Like it's hard to ask for help. I don't know. I think I'm just.
But think about it though.
I agree with what you're saying.
But you're saying I'm conditioned.
Yeah.
Anything that's conditioned. How do you turn that condition off when you got somebody there to help? And you got people to help.
I don't know.
You can't.
Yeah, because I mean, I feel like if it's something that I can do, then I'm going to do it. Now, if I get to a point where it's like, okay, I've exhausted all possibilities, then yes, that's when I'll ask somebody. So, I mean, I will ask if necessary, but it has to be necessary. I'm not just going to ask just to ask. So I don't know, but I agree with what you said. So I don't know, because ultimately, like you said, if you take it back to the scripture, what you just said is true. You have not because you ask not. But I don't know. I guess it's just knowing when to ask. But I don't know. Because, and then on top of that, I do know about me. I'm one of those.
We say we believe in those scriptures.
Right. And I do.
And we say we walk in those scriptures.
Right.
And we say, well, when a man find a wife, he find a good thing. He find but then we don't take the rest of them.
I agree.
Because the scripture tells us to ask, seek, and knock. He said to all those that ask, then they're going to get an answer. Right. It might not be the answer you want, but you're going to get an answer. You understand what I'm saying? Right. All that ask, they receive.
Right.
Although a lot of times we may get frustrated because we ask and the first person say, no, I can't do it. We stop. No, that's not how that works.
That's true.
He said you ask, seek, knock.
Yeah.
Or you doing all three. Or you asking, seek, and knocking. Or you asking, seek, and knocking. So I ask, then I seek, and I knock. So I said, hey, Darishone, can you help me? You can't? I'm going to seek some more.
Right.
I'm going to knock some more. Right. I'm going to ask some more. So am I doing all of these?
Right.
Am I asking, seeking, and knocking?
I think, how do I put it? So I feel like that statement that you just made could be coupled up with a lot of things in regards to my personal life. Of course, I can't speak for y'all, but just in regards to my personal life, I think it's coupled with a lot of things. One thing that I have learned about myself, thank you, friends who have wanted to point it out, I am a controller. Like, I like control. I like to know what's what and when whatever is going to happen. So if I know that something has to take place, I would rather let me just do it because it might be a certain way that needs to be done. I don't want to have to explain it to you. I don't want to have to let you.
Well, don't you get mad then?
And I don't. And that's the thing.
I don't. But a lot of women be like, I gotta do everything.
Yeah.
Why he can't? But you ain't give them a chance.
Right.
To do it. You just taking over.
Yeah.
You just trying to control everything.
And see, but I don't get mad. I mean, I ain't got nobody to get mad at, but I don't get mad because I know how I am with certain things. So I know within me, one thing that will have to shift is my control. My need to be in control. Which is not always
because I know somebody that's married and they was complaining like he don't do this, he don't do that, he don't know him. And then I went to him and talked to him. He said, "Well, I don't do it because if I do it, she just turn around and do it the way she won't do it anyway. She don't listen, so I just let her do it her way from the beginning. And we can just cut all that out." And so we need to really, like a lot of times, we're talking out of the side of our necks.
That's true.
So you want help or you don't want help.
That is true. I mean, so of course I'm not in that position. I haven't, had.
But okay, you condition that way. You're conditioned in a way, and you're a control person.
Right.
So how you gonna turn that off? Because that don't just go away because you dating somebody or you in a relationship with somebody.
I mean, but at the end of the day, I think that's when, because I can, first and foremost, I can acknowledge how I am. I can acknowledge that I'm a control person. I can acknowledge that I don't really ask for help like that. So those are things that I'm not blind to. So, but I think at the same time, in the relationship aspect, when dealing with the person, if I can be honest enough to let you know that, hey, this is something that I'm struggling with, I don't really know how to do this. That is when, if this is your partner, they're going to help you work through that and understand that this is something that has been an issue for you, has been a thing for you, or whatever the case may be. And they're going to help you get to a better level within that situation, I would think.
They're going to have patience. I don't know if they can actually.
But at the same time, you got to want to be better too. So if they point something out, you can't get mad at them and be like, oops, I almost said it. Oops. But you got to be like, man, why are you saying this and this and that? You have to be able to be receptive of whatever's being said. Because a lot of people, we don't like to be told that we're wrong in an area. Yeah. We like to feel like we're okay. And I mean, of course, anytime that you're going to bring two people together, it's going to be hard because they got their way of doing things. You got your way of doing things. And now y'all are trying to incorporate it. And so it's going to take being vulnerable, being, I don't want to say teachable, but being able to unlearn and relearn.
Yeah, I totally agree. Let's see what we got here. I think it's more so a fear of if we don't do it, it's not going to get done.
Oh, so why I agree with that too. That's true, Diamond.
But then again, you haven't given anyone a chance.
That is true. But I mean, but I feel like I agree. It's the fear of if I give you the chance, you're gonna let me down. Then I'm gonna be mad at you because you let me down.
Okay, so this is a trust issue. Mm-hmm. 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 That's what I hear when you just said that. That's a trust issue. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. That's what. Remember when I was saying that I feel like it's a couple things, or a few things coupled together to create that. That was the other thing I was gonna say.
Okay. Yeah. That sound like trust issues.
You know what's funny? I y'all, I learned about myself. I got some trust issues. I knew I had some. Got a lot. I got a whole lot that I didn't know because, again, throughout that time frame where I wasn't doing anything, I wasn't even taking the time to learn myself. And I thought I was, but I wasn't taking the time to heal and to deal with the things that even put me in the predicament that I was in. Mm-hmm. So that's something that I've learned about myself as well.
That's well, at least you growing and
trying to be better.
That's good. Let's see what we got here. So tell men what exactly you are looking for, expecting from them as possible. What you think about that?
I mean, I have mixed feelings about that. You hear mixed things about it. Because, on one hand, you hear that, you don't tell a man everything that you want up front, because then they just gonna conform to that just because you said it. Like, just to get you. You hear that?
Yeah.
And then it's
true.
like,
I've heard that too.
Yeah. And then you hear, okay, yes, well, be open and upfront and honest, because you want to put it all out there, and to even let the person, to even see if this is what a person is capable or wants to do.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't really know, because you hear both things. So I don't know.
I always say be yourself. Always present yourself to whoever you're dating. That way they can decide if they want to deal with that or not.
Yeah. I agree. That's why being friends is important.
Yeah. And I prefer you to be yourself.
Yeah.
Don't make me have to go through all these layers.
Yeah.
To try to find out who you are. No, show up.
Right.
As yourself. If you crazy, you come crazy.
You crazy.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Whatever. I dated this guy. I mean, I knew it wasn't gonna work. I knew it wasn't gonna work right away. You probably know what I'm talking about. But I can give him this. He never lied.
See.
He never lied. He never kept a secret. He never tried to hide anything. If I asked him, he always downplayed it a little bit. But the truth, he did. Man, yeah, I do that, but this ain't this, that.
Right.
Yeah, man, I do that. But then, you know what I'm saying? He would downplay it, but he would always say yes. And I had to give him props for that. So he always came as himself. He didn't try to be anybody else. So that's the way I tell people to do, come as yourself.
I agree.
Come as yourself.
I agree.
Because
if you got baggage, deal with that. Don't come opening up a new door when you got all this stuff. Like, what's that woman named? Erykah Badu. Bag lady, bag man. You're gonna hurt your back carrying all that stuff. Put it down, please, before you invite somebody else to try to carry that. And you know what type of baggage I'm talking about. If you still, open and got a whole relationship over here, but you over here trying to create a new one, no, deal with that first, please, people. Thank you. Not your children. I ain't calling kids baggage. That ain't baggage. But I'm talking about other stuff like that can be worked out before you bring a new person into your situation. Please handle that.
So so I always say, when you want to know up front, just be yourself. Because when you want to know up front, if you was not compatible to that person, instead of wasting your time. Because you waste. If I come faking, trying to be like which I can't fake no one. I don't know how. I don't know how to be number Renee. I never got to that fake until you make it speak.
Right.
But anyway, because that's a waste of time.
It is. I agree 100%.
You just wasted a year, 2 years. You could have been with somebody, showing them who you really are, making a real connection with somebody. Really.
I mean, and I don't know if this is accurate. I don't know. This is how I feel about it, though. I feel like, really, about 6 months. When you're dealing with a person, by 6 months, you should know if there's somebody that you really want to try to work something with, or you don't.
Not if they ain't being themselves.
But I'm saying if they, but even in that, because you'll start seeing stuff peek through. If they are not being authentic and they're not being who they are, if you listen to yourself, though.
Yeah,
listen to your internal self.
But how many times we really listen to
we got to start. That's the issue. We got it for a reason.
Yeah.
Like, and it's a bad thing. It's bad when you know what's going on, but you want to try to justify and make it.
Well, I've been one where I really didn't know.
Well, that's different then you didn't know.
But the Holy Spirit kept saying, this is it.
Then you knew.
You get this.
Then you knew.
But I didn't know in my natural.
The Holy Spirit told you, though, so you knew. That's no way to wrap that up. You knew. You know. She knew.
And even when I went to them, they was like, nah.
You're right. They're going to always say, not that they liars.
This girl. Okay, we got being able to realize you're not always right and that you don't have to always be in control.
Yeah, that's hard for me, though. I need to know. I need to be in the know. What's up?
Yes, come as you are. Let's see what Jonathan has here. Would you agree that men don't approach women these days? If so, how did you suggest? How did you suggest men fix this, or how do you suggest men fix that? That's a good one, Jonathan.
It is.
Good, Jonathan. That's my brother from another mother.
Hey, Jonathan.
We love you, Jonathan. Oh, wait, quit that. I forgot. Go ahead. Somebody might take the wrong way. Go ahead. Go ahead, girl.
I do agree that men don't approach women these days. Not, you know what? Again, like I said, I have a lot of single friends also. And it seems like, and even myself, the men that are approaching, they're approaching because they want to have sex. They coming for sex, but not for anything, you know, more than that. And it's like, and in the way that they approach, it's like, what are you saying? Granted, I haven't had anybody approach me crazy, but I've had some friends who've had people approach them with crazy stuff. And it's like, what? Like, so I do agree that men don't approach women these days. I don't know. I think, how do men fix this? Be men. Like, you know, be men. But I feel like I heard somebody say this and I thought it was a beautiful thing. Devon Franklin, that's what it was, who said it. He was basically saying that one thing that men can do is start looking as women as people and not objects or sex objects or toys or property, but look at them as people first. Like, you know, they're somebody's daughter, somebody's sister, somebody's mother, somebody's friend. Like, you know, and vice versa for women, because women do it too. It's not just like, you know, it's not just men that do everything, but in this particular situation. But and I think if men alter the way that they view women first and you know, begin to cherish and honor them again. We're not just possessions, but we are actually people to be honored and cherished and loved. And, you know, I think a lot of that has gone out of the door. Like, you know, and again, I feel like I can go a lot of different ways with what I think, but trying to wrap it all in, because even seeing like now, yes, women are a lot more independent. So like, you know, things are different from how they used to be. But I think men fail to realize how important their role is. Like the male role cannot be replaced, just like the female role cannot be replaced. So we still need men to show up, no matter how independent we are, or how, you know, whatever the case may be. Yeah, just show up and be okay being a man.
I mean, he may want, okay, what do you mean by be okay being a man?
Be okay.
What do you mean by show up?
I mean, in the sense of not feeling like, because, I mean, I know men get fearful too. I know men are afraid of rejection just like women are. I know men, you know, they don't like wondering and they don't like games and they don't know how, because there's a lot of women that play games too. So not sitting here saying, because you can't put everything on men also. So us as women, we have to be approachable. You know, we want to be approached. We also have to be approachable. So it's just a lot of different things that come into play that need to work on both ends. It's not just one. You can't identify one set thing and say, this is going to fix the issue, because it takes work on both ends. You know, we can't say we want to be approached, but then we don't create an opportunity to be approached, because we walk around here like, I was about to say it again. I wish that brother would walk up to me. Like, you know, we can't be like that, because who was going to want it? Like, who would want to walk into a situation like that? So it's just, but at the same time, be courageous, be bold, be brave enough to show me that I'm worth the approach. So it's just a.
Well, how do you feel about women going up and approach?
I feel like, I mean, you know, you hear some people like that scripture you said earlier, you know, he who finds a wife, you know, finds favor with the Lord, obtains favor with the Lord. But, and they emphasis on he who finds. I personally, if you like somebody, you like somebody. Like, you know, I just feel like sometimes we can overanalyze and overthink and over Christianize things. And it's like, why does it have to be that hard? If
right.
I walk
Jonathan
into
said that last Saturday.
Like, why? If I walk into a place and I see a man that's attractive and I'm just like, okay, I think we could possibly have a connection. Why is it wrong for me to say hello? To open up the door. Like, you know? So, yeah.
He said define being approachable for women.
I mean, like I said, to me, being approachable would be, again, not having that resting bee face all the time. Smile, be happy, look inviting, look like you want somebody to come talk to you, look like you want to engage in a conversation. Because again, yes, the man may be fearful, we may be fearful. If I'm with all my friends and you come over, I'm not going to embarrass you. Even if I'm not interested, I'm not going to embarrass you in front of my friends and make you feel like
But you know, some women will.
Some women will. But
some
that's
women are straight clowns.
Right. And that's not necessary. If you're not interested, then you're just not interested. But you don't have to. And I think all of that is part of being approachable. Like, creating an atmosphere to where, how do I put it? A person, because I don't even want to necessarily say a man, because it might be a woman, like what you were just saying, where a person can feel confident to come up and say something. And even if there's a rejection there, they don't feel, they're not taken down notches because it just wasn't a mutual interest. Like, I mean, that's what I think about being approachable, just being open and inviting.
I know one thing, if you're sitting like this is closed off.
Right.
Just saying, don't bother me.
Right.
Right. And so you want to keep your body language open as well. That's something we talk about in the 1-day dating breakthrough workshop that I want you to sign up for, that's coming next year. We talk about body language. Body language say a lot. A lot of times we can, if you walking around like this, God had to get on to me with this. If you walking around with your head down the whole time, you're never looking up, saying you never have a smile on your face. It's when you hold your head down and you walking down, you let people know, hey, don't come bother me.
Right.
That's what people say, oh, she don't want to be bothered,
Right. Right.
And so you want to kind of be mindful of those types of things as well. But yeah, I'm with you. If I see somebody I like and he ain't noticed me yet,
right.
I told Jonathan, I listened to my girl when I walk up in the club. Hey, I've been giving you the eye. Hey. So you know how I do. You know how we do. And if you're not interested, that don't bother me. That don't bother me. It don't hurt my feelings, because I want to know up front that you're not interested.
Right.
Just let me know up front.
Right.
Don't waste my time.
Right.
Don't let on like you are when you're not. Don't waste my time, because honey, you ain't the only one up in here, baby. I just, you say, you let me know you're interested. I'm going,
right.
The eye starts to go.
You bopping on to the
hey.
That's funny.
Oh, okay. We got another, let's see what else my brother from another mother got here. Is it a problem if the woman is attracted or interested before the man is? That's kind of what we was talking about.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think it's a problem. Because
yeah, I don't know.
You can't help if you're attracted to a person. Like, if you're attracted, you're attracted. Yeah. So it's just, I don't know.
Jonathan, don't you start tonight to my Team Monica. But yeah, that's how that's the way I feel about it too.
Right.
We kind of went over that now.
She said, tell my sister to call me back.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
I said it like her and everything. Tell my sister.
Oh my gosh. Oh my god. Okay, I will call her back. Oh, this is my son. This is Desmond.
I don't know.
This is stuff. This the stuff.
Racism.
Oh. Okay. Go ahead then. Y'all saw how you just. All right. Go ahead then. Bye.
Experience it. What? Anyway, it says, I want to ask you this. It says, I saw it said, if you need a man, okay, that's kind of like what I've already asked you. So let me move on to another.
Wait, okay. So I have to ask, hashtag Team Monica. What does that mean?
They messing with me because I say Brandy.
Oh. Yeah, I think I'm Team Monica too. So.
All right, y'all. Anyway, I saw a meaning. It say females will ask you, why do men cheat? But it said, why won't women ask their homegirls why she had sex with a dude that was already in a relationship?
I think that's a powerful question.
Well, what you think about that?
You know what? Because honestly, we do give men power in that aspect. Because us as women, if we were to say no, then what can they do? I mean, but it's when we make the decision to open up that door. And I'm pretty sure every woman has been in a situation similar to that. It's not necessarily saying that you did anything, but, I think that if you recognize the situation for what it is and you shut it down. Now, granted, not saying that he's not just going to leave from you and move on to the next woman, because he probably will, because, that's what happens. But at least you shut it down in your aspect. I mean, for you, you shut it down. And if all of us did that, then, but unfortunately, that's not gonna happen.
But I get where you're going with that. That would be a whole lot better. And that's one of the things that I do try to push here at Single, Saved, and Dating. You know, if you know somebody's already married, don't go after no married man. Right. You asking for trouble.
Right.
You inviting trouble in your life. You inviting drama in your life by going after, a married man or whatever. But I thought that was something. Do a man have to be financially stable before he dates?
Yes, I think so. Because financially stable and rich are two totally different things. And I feel like a lot of the times those terms are mixed up or intertwined. I feel like financially stable could be someone, you could work a job, you could work at McDonald's, I don't know. And you might not have the biggest check, but you know how to manage the money that you do have. So, because ultimately at the end of the day, every man wants to be a provider for his family. And I mean, and even me being the person that I am, I don't mind, like I work, like we can meet each other half 50-50, you don't have to have that whole burden on you. But most men, they want to be able to know that they can provide for their family. This is my family. I want to be able to provide. So do I think a man should be financially stable? Yes, I do. Because if not, something in him is going to be aggravated. It's going to be bothered. It's going to be lacking. But do I think he has to be rich? No, I do not.
Well, if he should a man be dating if he don't have money?
Again, if he can handle his finances and do what he needs to do with the money that he has, which means make responsible choices with the money that he has. So if you know that you don't have the most money, this bill is due, but you want to go, I don't know, whatever your vice could be. I don't know, whatever that thing is. You want to go shop, or you want to, I don't know, you want to go out to eat, or whatever the case may be. You have to be able to determine that, no, I'm not going to do this thing because this is more important. Mm-hmm. So when you can, as a man, when you can prioritize and be stable, then yeah, feel free, date, because you're stable. You know what to do. You know how to put first things first and all that other stuff to the side. But if you out here and you know that it's rent time, but you about to go, I don't know, do whatever you about to do with the money. Wow.
So if a man said, I can't take you to some place that you wanted to go. Right. Because, I'm my budget.
Right.
But we can go some other time, or we can go somewhere less expensive. I mean, how would you, what would be your thoughts on that?
Because I feel like a man like that also has goals. So I feel like if he's stable like that and he's planning like that, there are probably other goals behind that plan. There's probably something that he's trying to achieve, something that he wants to do. So would I be okay with that? Yes, I would, because that means just because we can't play today don't mean we won't be able to play later, but you have a goal and you're trying to achieve a thing. But at the same time, I would still, there would be more dialogue that would have to take place, because do I want somebody who never wants to go out and never wants to, no, I don't. I'm not going to lie and say I don't. So that's when the conversation would come into place. And if that's your personality and that's who you are, then I would know that we're not a good fit. And that's when we need to go ahead and, but if this is because you have a goal and it's because you're trying to obtain something and it's because you're trying to get from point A to point B and I can get behind your vision, I'm all for that.
How important is money in a relationship? When should you have that conversation? Or should you have it at all?
How important is money? I mean, you know what? I'm not gonna sit here and say that I would be lying if I said, oh, he ain't gotta have no money, because that means you're not doing anything. You're not working with your hands. You're not doing something to create some type of income. And I need you to at least match where I'm at. And I know, that I bring something to the table. So I would need you to bring something to the table. Not saying you have to, again, you don't have to be rich. I don't have to have a Bentley outside, or a Mercedes. I don't need that, but I do want something decent while I'm not struggling. So to me, I wouldn't say money is super important, but it matters. It's not at the top of the list, but it matters. When would I have that discussion? I don't know. I feel like I would want it to be an organic thing. I do feel like it's important because everything else can line up, because it's important. Money is important. But I think that discussion comes in when you have the discussion about future plans, about, goals, like what are you trying to do? Like, what do you do for a living? Like all of those things come into play around that time. And I think it just flows as you conversate.
Cool. Let's go to the board. Let's go to the Soul Train board. Do you think it's an issue if women ask each other for advice on men instead of asking guys? Asking guy friends, I mean, say, or loved ones.
I mean, I think that depends on who the friend is. Like, I'm gonna be 100% honest, because I do have some friends, some female friends who, I can ask them for advice about a situation with a guy and they're spot on. But at the same time, I do have some, I'm not asking you nothing because I see how your situations are. I don't want to know because I don't want bitter advice. I don't want something that's going to leave me feeling like I'm about ready to go bust this man's head. No, I don't want that, because everybody got that in there. Sometimes it's a thin line. I don't want that. I want somebody who's going to help me rise above and see what could potentially be and what could be going on. So I do feel like some women could give really good advice on a situation with the man. And then at the other time, no, sis, I can't even ask you. I love you, but I can't ask you. So it just depends.
So it depends on the person.
Yeah. Case by case. I don't think it's a general. It's case by case.
Case by case.
Yeah.
Got you. Are older women teaching the younger women as the scripture instructs?
See, I think that's case by case. Because I do have some women, like I have some mentors that pour into me, like, and they try, if I veer off, they try to help me back. Like, Renee, you're one of them. Like, I know if something's going on, I know I can come sit and talk to you, and I know you're going to tell me the truth. I know, and it might be something I don't want to hear, but I know it's going to be the truth and love. Like, you know what I'm saying? Something that I need to hear, not what I want, but what I need. And that's always valuable. So could there be more? There could always be more, like, but I do still feel like they do it.
That's good. Well, I'm glad to hear that. That was a good question, by the way, John. Appreciate that.
It was. He got some good questions.
Good questions.
Don't let me put me on the spot like that.
Yeah, Jonathan be giving some. That's my brother from another mother. Love me some Jonathan. Lord just knitted us together. I saw this and it kind of made me scratch my head a little bit. It's another meme. It said no woman is completely single. They always have a boo, friend, sex partner, ex calling, and she answers. Someone just she talks to some guy that's thirsty, but she likes the attention. So she always got somebody hanging around. She ain't never really single.
I disagree. Because I feel like it depends on what your definition of single is. I feel like, and again, being in that position, like I was single. Single is, I feel like the state that I allow myself to be in. Mm-hmm. And so if I'm in a state where I know I'm not in a committed situation, I don't have to be, I ain't sleeping with nobody. Like, I'm not out here like, doing X, Y, Z. I do feel like there's a period of time that a woman can take where she's just working on her. And
this say, and the reason why I'm asking you, because it's sounding kind of like a ring, ring, ring. Because he said she always have a boo around. She always got she always have a friend around or a sex partner or ex calling her and she answers.
So is it
someone she just talks to some thirsty guy around and she likes the attention?
Okay, so all of those things could very well still be true. Yes, fine. But at the same time, again, that's why I
had to ask that because it sounds kind of.
They don't always. They don't always have a boo. Could you have one? Yes. For a period, you could have one. It could be a month that you have a boo. A friend. Who does not have friends? Everybody has a friend. Like, I have male friends. One of my best friends is a male. So
he mean like friend, like a sex partner.
Oh, well, still, okay. Some do, but I'm pretty sure somebody has.
Or ex calling and you still answering.
But that don't mean nothing because you don't have to. I feel like another thing that's wrong is we've been conditioned to think that we have to hate exes. Why?
Okay, you got a good point there.
Why? Like, because just because you're my ex doesn't mean that I can. Because at one point there was something that attracted me to you, and hopefully it was your personality and not just how you look. So if it's something about you that I liked, I can still be friendly and cordial. We can still have a conversation from time to time, but that doesn't take away from the fact that I'm single. That doesn't mean that I'm trying to do anything with you. That don't mean that I like the way I like the attention. That don't mean I like the attention. It just means that
y'all just valued the friendship.
We were able to be friends.
To keep the friendship. That's awesome. That's a goal for me. I want to be able to walk away and still, if we can do that friendship.
Right.
If we could without. When you really can though, but when that person he ain't hanging around just because he want to be your friend. He hanging around because he or she hanging around because they hoping that y'all can rekindle something.
Yeah. I personally feel like, I won't have 4, but exes, but I feel like I could be friends with all of them. Now, would their significant other be okay with that? In reality, probably not. So in reality,
why wouldn't they though? Like if I would date somebody and he was still friend with, if it was a legit friendship, I wouldn't have no problem with that. But if y'all trying to hook up or something,
and I think because nowadays people are it's hard to trust situations, and believe that something has really moved on and that it really is what it is because people lie. People do other people like, what's the word? People are self. They want to do whatever it is to make self feel better. So there are, now I'm not saying that this is not true. I just don't feel like it's all. I don't feel like every woman is like this. But there are some that are, or some men too. So some people, it do make them feel better to know that, I got my girlfriend, boyfriend, wife, this person I'm talking to, but I still got this person over here. So, because there's something missing in them. There's an insecurity in them. So it does something to self to know that I can pull from either of these. So I feel like it's just, this
is basically saying she always got somebody hanging around. She ain't never really like single. She got somebody hanging around.
Again, I disagree because even if all of these factors are still there, it doesn't take away from, not even, because how do I put it? I just don't feel like that's true. I don't even really know how to put it in words because I feel like I'll have to dissect piece by piece. I don't feel like that's a true statement.
Oh, Lord. So do men bring out different results in a woman?
Yes.
Do different, to explain, go into detail now.
Yeah. Because I can't speak for every woman. I can only speak for me.
Okay.
But I know, I don't even feel like I know. I'm a very honest person. That's what I bring to the table. I'm going to always be honest with you. I'm going to always be upfront. I'm not going to play little games with you. I'm not going to do all of the extra stuff. And sometimes being that type of person is hard because you want to expect the same thing back, and you can't always expect a person to be and handle situations how you do and to be how you are, which is something that I'm having to learn, of course. But you would hope that that is what you would get back. And so, but at the same time, I don't know what it is. Y'all, I can be, just me being honest, I can be the coolest person ever, but I hate being lied to. You want to get under my skin? Lie to me. Lie to me. And then if you really want to get under my skin, and I shouldn't be telling y'all this because now some of y'all are going to try to get under my skin. No, I'm just playing. But if you really want to get under my skin, lie to me and then let me know that you're lying, and then you try to play with my intelligence. And I don't know why those things get to me, but those two things will really bring something out of me.
So could it be from your past?
Probably.
That's what I'm thinking.
Probably. And and I don't like that. I do not like it. And so if I'm dealing with a person who feels like those are the things that they want to do, you're going to bring something else out of me. You're not going to bring out positive, happy-go-lucky Darishone that want to bring you lunch or, what I'm saying, that want to, the Darishone that you want to marry. No, you're going to bring out crazy Darishone. Everybody has crazy. And I ain't crazy because I ain't going to do nothing crazy. I ain't going to jail for you. I'm not doing no time for you. I ain't slashing no tires. I'm not doing none of that because no. But at the same time, it'll bring out sides of you, negative energy.
Yeah, negative.
Negative energy. Nobody wants to be negative all the time. Like nobody wants to do that. And then when you're in a situation and it's making you more negative than it is positive, that's somebody having a bad effect on you. But then you could go to a whole different man and he's bringing out the positive because he is positive, giving you positive, and he's bringing it out of you at the same time. Like, you know, so yeah, I do feel like different men bring out different things.
I do too. I agree. How you feel about guys sliding into the DMs?
Hey, you gotta figure out a way to get in there, I guess. Go ahead, slide in. I mean, it just depends on what you're sliding in with. Don't slide in with nothing crazy. Because I feel like at the end of the day, I mean, it's always easier to text versus face-to-face approach for anybody. And again, people, we don't like rejection. Like, you know, especially if we've been rejected. So it's an easier approach. But I think the same principle should still apply. Like, you know, still, like I said earlier, view her as a person. Like, you know, treat her with respect. Even if you slide in the DM, it don't matter how you do it. It matters what you say when you do it. So
how you feel about women sliding in the DMs?
Again, like I said earlier, I mean, shoot your shot, sis. Like, you know, if you see them and you know you want to get them before you get got, get them.
Would you date a younger man? What about men with children?
Ooh, so okay, a younger man. Normally, I am attracted to men that are older than me. I won't go above someone like 36, 37 because my dad is not that much older. So it is this kind of, you know, murky waters. I've never dated somebody younger. I've never just been attracted to anybody younger than me. Would I not? I wouldn't say. I'm not gonna say that I wouldn't. It just has never happened for me. Man with kids. So with that, I am not opposed to kids. I love kids. I want more kids myself. I love kids to death. So would I date a man with kids if he has custody? I don't like child support. That's what I don't like. I don't like money being taken out of what it could potentially be ours. Like now you paying child support. Nah, but if you got your kids, come on. That's just how I feel about it. I don't mind the kids. The kids aren't the issue. It's the child support. Child support expensive.
So you don't want nobody paying no child support?
I'd rather you have your children.
But what if you meet somebody and they don't have their children and they have to pay their child support?
I mean, I would do it. Be figuring out a way. It wouldn't be ideal. It's not ideal. Let me say that.
Okay,
I'm not
that's a good way
I wouldn't close the door just because of that factor. I would just say it's not ideal.
That's the good place.
Yeah.
It's not ideal for you. It's not the way you pictured it. But if it happened like that, then you could
right. Because I don't mind blended family and all that. I think that would be amazing. Because my son is 11. So, you know, granted, even if I had a baby today, he wouldn't be able to grow up. So if the man had kids and they were around the same age, that'd be great. Because he would have somebody to kind of grow up with, you know? I just don't like the money thing.
When does marriage start, or the foundation for marriage? I seen somebody was talking about this in the group, and I said, okay, that'll make a good question.
Well, I think whenever you are considering being committed, like, you know, when you are deciding to move to commitment, I think that is when marriage should come into play. Because I don't feel like you should be in a committed situation with somebody, because that's just wasting their time and your own time. Now, it's one thing if you're dating.
But no, they was asking, like, when do that foundation start? Do it start when I get somebody? Or is it?
Oh, for years. I feel like you got to start. That starts like now. Like, you know what I'm saying? Now. Because there are things about me that I need to work on by myself. And then there are things that I'm going to have to work on when I get with somebody. There are things that I'm going to have to work on when I'm married. It's going to always be things to work on. But some things you want to have cleared out and dealt with before you bring a person in, I think.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. I was going to ask you a question. The person that you date, somebody asked me this, and I was like, wow, this blew me away. Would you trust them with the little child you?
Ooh. You know what? There's this song by Ella May. I don't know if y'all know Ella May. She's amazing. And it's called Naked. And she's talking about basically, you know, having somebody that can love her naked. Someone that, you know, that what did she say? Something about who knows how to love and knows how to take it. Are you that somebody who's gonna love me naked? Like, you know, or whatever, when you see all of my flaws, and you're ready to fight just to see what's behind all of me, you know? And so
would you trust that person with the little you, the child you?
Because I don't know. Because me personally, I have learned that I do have trust issues, you know, from things that I've been hurt with, you know, in my past and, you know, certain situations. Would I want to trust them with that? Yes, I would. Is it just going to come easily? No, it wouldn't. But I think if you have a partner, ideally, again, throw that word out there again. Ideally, I would want to have a partner who, when I begin to open up, they don't push back, which allows me the opportunity to get vulnerable and allows me the opportunity to know that, okay, if I can trust him with this, maybe I can take a little step further. And then I can trust him with this. Okay, maybe I can take a step further. Because I think it's all in how you react. I mean, because just like, you know, as us as women, we've heard a million times, like, you know, if a man opens up to you, don't make him feel dumb about what he's saying. Because if you do, he's never going to open up to you again. Okay, well, it's the same thing for women. We want to know that we can open
safe
up.
Place to land.
Right. Like, you know, yeah, perfect way to say it. Like, you know, we want to know that it's a safe zone. If I open up to you and I tell you something that happened to me and you make me feel dumb, even if you don't understand it or whatever the case may be, why would I want to trust you with that place again? Nobody wants to do that. So ideally, that would be the thing, though, because I would want to be naked in front of my partner. I want to be completely naked. I want you to know everything. I want you to be able to talk to 9-year-old Darishone, like, you know, and to understand why things that happen to 9-year-old Darishone, how they affect 30-year-old Darishone.
Yeah.
Like, you know, and so ideally, yeah.
Okay, cool. Is it possible for someone to keep doing something to you and be sorry?
No. Okay, let me not laugh. My initial response is no. Is it possible for you to keep doing the same thing and be sorry? I'm gonna have to say no, just because I feel like people aren't perfect. Nobody's perfect. You know, everybody's gonna make a mistake. You know, but if I come in, you know, and I know that it bothers you if I hit your left arm, you know, and I do it that one time and I'm like, oh, I'm sorry, Renee, you know, so now I'm going to put myself in a position to maybe I'm going to slide over a little bit, you know, so that I can try to alleviate the situation from happening again. Not to say that it won't happen again, because I might still be too close. Boom, I might bump you again. And I'm like, dang, I'm sorry, Renee. So now this is the second time that I bumped you. But within that process, you see me doing steps and trying to stop the hurt.
Yeah.
So I won't say that they won't, if they do it repeatedly, that they're not sorry. But if I see you taking steps to truly stop the pain.
Yeah. That's what I would like to say.
To listen to what I'm saying to you, or to try to be changed. Yeah. Because it's not going to happen overnight, because this could be, you know, my right side could be the side that I'm used to using the most. So it might take some time for me to learn how to use my left. I might not want to slide over this far because it's cold right here. But like, so everything is a process, and I'm learning just like you're learning. But if I love you enough, I'll try to change.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say, because, you know, we keep going to God, and it goes back to like what you were saying about that conditioning. You have to do something different to interrupt that pattern.
Yeah.
You got to interject, and, and it has to be done consciously. I have to be consciously awake,
right,
to see, oh man, I'm doing it again, You know, there's
Right.
something I have to go in there and find out what that root
Right.
cause is, what keep connecting me to this same
Right.
action.
Right.
And then I have to purposely disconnect myself from that action.
Yeah.
You want to find out more about that? Come on to the Single Saving Day One Day Dating Breakthrough Workshop, because those are the things that we talk about. And I find that in myself too. I'm like, okay, Renee, what's the thing that keeps linking you to the same old action?
Yeah.
And I look for those types of patterns. I look, okay, wait a minute, this is a pattern with me.
Yeah.
Okay, now I got to find out what's keep linking me to this same old action.
Yeah.
And because you do it and you not aware.
Yeah. And but also it's a double-sided coin too. Because in the aspect of relationship, because if I'm bumping you and you ain't told me I'm bumping you, I don't know what's happening. I could be unaware of what it is. But if you're sitting there taking it in and getting upset and you're mad and you're frustrated, oh, if this girl bumped me one more time, like, you know what I'm saying? Right.
She's going to hear about this. Yeah.
Right. But at the same time, people have to realize that you have to be vulnerable enough to let me know that I'm doing something, and give me the opportunity to
correct it. Yeah. And a lot of times we don't do that though.
Right. That's a lot.
We just mad, we're offended, and we start talking smack.
Right.
And we haven't even went and addressed that person. That go back to what the scripture said. If I go to the altar to bring my gift and I realize that you got an altar with me, I don't go ahead and present this. I leave that on the altar, and then I'm supposed to go make it right.
Make it right.
We don't do that in the body.
Right.
We'll know somebody got a problem with us, but we go right on up in the house of God and shout and run around and hallelujah and praise the Lord and quote scripture, say, "He who finds a wife finds a good thing." You better be waiting. Don't get out of order. And knowing somebody got a problem with us.
Right.
We'll keep right on going.
And honestly,
and also the scripture said, if I got a problem with you, I'm supposed to go to you and you alone.
Right.
I'm not supposed to go to somebody else.
Right.
I'm supposed to bring it to you.
Right.
We don't do that.
Exactly. And I just went through a situation, where I did something like that, where I went to someone and I apologized. I don't have an issue with this person, but this person has an issue with me. And so I went to that person and I apologized for creating a situation where you could have an issue with me. A lot of people, because I told a couple of my friends, that this is what happened, excuse me, and they disagreed. They felt like I shouldn't have, like, why even, that was unnecessary, whatever. But I knew for me, it was necessary because I knew what I needed to do for me. It doesn't matter if the person received it. It doesn't matter. I mean, of course I gave it with the heart of wanting you to receive it, but I can't make you.
Yeah.
But all I know is I can bring it with all I can do is bring it with the right heart, and all I can do is do it for me.
Yeah. As much as rely on you, live in peace without me.
Yeah.
So you're going to do your part. We're going to get one more question and then we're going to wrap it up for the night. Oh yeah, we done been on here for a minute. I saw this thing say, do women have a problem it said women don't have a problem being submissive. Mm-hmm. Or obeying their men. Mm-hmm. The problem is most men weren't taught properly how to lead.
I feel like it's so hard to generalize. I feel like when people make certain memes, they want to generalize and say, this is it. Or not generalize, but they want to minimize and just say, this is it. This is the issue. This is why things are how they are. I feel like it's a double-sided coin. I feel like both have been affected. I feel like some women don't know how to be submissive because we're used to leading, and I feel like some men don't know how to lead because they haven't been taught. Mm-hmm. So I do feel like it's both. Like I don't feel like, we can just sit here and say one thing and just feel like that's the one thing. I feel like it's a multiple of things.
So you saying it could be a balance of both.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's the woman and sometimes it's the man.
I agree.
I said just because he or she is a good woman doesn't mean that she's ready to be a wife. So just because you're a good woman doesn't necessarily mean that you're ready to be a wife. What's your take on that?
I agree. Because if I'm 100% honest, again, I can only speak for myself. I know I'm a good woman. Forget that. I know I'm a great woman. Do I think I'm ready to be a wife? No, not yet. Because when I do get married, I want to be healed. Mm-hmm. And I realize that, like I alluded to earlier in this conversation, there were 10 years that I wasn't doing anything. I was single, but I was not healing either. And so I don't want to be that bag lady. I don't want to blame the man that I love and beat him down for things that other men have done to me.
Good.
I don't want to do that. So am I ready to be someone's wife right now? No, I'm not, because I know that I have a lot of hurt. I have trust. I don't want to come to him with trust issues. I want him to say, babe, I'm going to the store. And I know he's going to the store. Like, you know, he's not, I don't want to sit here and be like, oh, snap. Is he going to do this and this? No, I don't want that, because he doesn't deserve that.
Yeah.
You know, just like I don't deserve that. Yeah. And so I want him to have the best version of myself. So good people can be good people, but that doesn't mean that they're ready to give themselves to somebody else. Yeah. And I think that's a lot of what's been happening with marriages now. We fall in love with good people and we think we're good people, but we're broken good people.
Yeah. Like, I like that. That's good.
You know?
That's good.
And I feel like, you know, people, we begin to mix things together and we mix ideas and we mix words, because just because you're good doesn't mean that you're not hurt. Doesn't mean that you're not broken. And on the flip side, you know, well, granted, if you're bad, then you still hurt and broken, or, you know, nobody, but, you know, those words are not interchangeable. They're two completely different things to speak on, two completely different states of where you are in your life. So yeah, no, I personally don't feel like just because you're good, that doesn't mean you're ready to give yourself to somebody else. Because we also have to be at a point where we don't want to be selfish anymore.
Yes, right.
Like, you know, and a lot of people are not willing to not be selfish anymore.
Yeah, that's good.
And just because I can give myself to you in one area doesn't mean I'm ready to give myself to you in all areas.
Right, right.
So that in itself is major. We have, because again, we have to really think about what marriage is. And I think so often, more recently now, it's been overlooked. Nobody, we just, if it don't work, we can get a divorce. Like, you know, and it's like, but we're not taking into account that we're ripping people apart. We're ripping families apart. We're ripping children apart, you know, finances, everything that's being torn down.
Yes, I love that.
Because we step away. And so I think, you know, and a lot of people look at marriage as a contract, and not to say that it's not, because it is. It is a contract, but it's a blood contract. Like, you know what I'm saying? You're not just getting into it just to be able to get out of it. Like, you know, this person is your business partner. This person is your personal partner. This person is the partner that you're going to raise your kids with. So yes, it is some type of a business agreement, but it's not one, it's a bond also. And so again, when I get married, it's me giving you me. And if I'm not ready to give you all of me, and if the me that I'm giving you isn't a good me or a healthy me, nah, I'm not ready.
That's good.
So, yeah.
Good. I love that answer. That when you was speaking on that, I know I said we're going to wrap it up, and we are going to wrap it up. But when you were speaking on that, it made me think about this guy. He was talking about how he damaged this lady. He said, but it had to happen. Okay. And that it was God's will, because it was preparing him for the wife that he now has. That didn't right. See, good. Because I'm thinking, well, what about her? You left her damaged.
Right.
But you went away straight.
Right. Yeah, no, I don't agree with that, because I feel like, oh, people love to put God in situations that have nothing to do with God. God is not going to put a person in a situation to be torn down in a negative. Now, I'm not to say that you're not going to go through hard things with God, that God won't put you in, you know, or allow you to go through. Because he doesn't test us, but I'm not going to say that he won't allow us to be tested, or that we won't, you know, have a thorn in our side at a time or two. But he will not maliciously put you in a situation to tear you down to build somebody else up. No, I don't feel like God would do that, because the God that I serve, the God that I love, doesn't do that. That's not who he is. And so I don't agree with that. I feel like that man was selfish. And, you know, my dad said something to me and I thought it was powerful. He said, you know, you have to think about it. Any relationship that you get in, it's either for rehabilitation or it's for romance. He said, sometimes people will use you in that situation for rehabilitation. They've been hurt and they're trying to rehab. They're trying to grow. They're trying to get better. And you have to be able to recognize what the difference within the two. Because if not, you'll end up hurt. you'll end up putting in more than what you should. And then you'll come out scarred. They'll come out rejuvenated and better.
That's what it sounded like. That's what the brother was saying, but he was saying that with God. And I'm like, no, bro, that wasn't God, bro. That wasn't. Let's see what my brother from another mother had to say. Oh, let me see. He said, let's see this. He said, I love these balanced answers. I do too. You doing great there, Sean. Self-reflection and humility, like what you are displaying, shows you are a lot more ready than Mary, who are jumping into relationships. Very mature.
Oh, well, thank you, Jonathan.
Jonathan, that's why I said that's my brother from another. Appreciate my brother. So, what does your future husband? We're gonna wrap it up, guys. We've been on here for a minute. What does your future husband look like?
Ooh, well, I can build a man. No, I'm just playing.
Bob the Builder, can she build it? Bob the Builder, yes she can. Hey, Bob.
I want this. I want that. I love it. So, throughout the years, of course, that thought has changed for me. First and foremost, I want somebody who loves God. Because I realize, going left to go back right. But, throughout the last couple months, there are some things about Christianity or about the church as a whole that I've questioned myself. Mm-hmm. But I do know throughout that process, one thing that I have learned about myself is how much I love God. Yeah. Like, despite everything else that I've questioned, everything else that I went through, I see how much I love God. And I know I need a man that loves God. Like, I want a man that loves God. I want a man that can pray for me, because if you really love me, you'll pray for me. Amen. Because you can say you love me and you'll do all these other things for me, but a man that really loves me is going to pray for me. Yes. And another thing that's huge for me is I have male friends who my son, like, I've had friends to take him places. Like, Tracy's great. Des, that's his, Des, he's a whole nother level of anything. But not even talking about him, because what he does is not even matched by anybody else. But I have other friends that, they would take him to games, or they might buy him shoes, or they just, how's Des doing? They have running jokes with them. And I see the way that they care about my son as just my friend. Yeah. I want somebody who really cares about my son. Amen. It's not your son, but it's our son. Even no matter how, even if he's 18, 22, whenever that merger happens, I want somebody who really loves my child. Yes. They better love kids. Right. Right. And as far as everything else, I went through a lot of situations and I know what I don't want. Yeah. And so now on the other side of that spectrum, it has taught me what I do want. So looking at what I don't want somebody who, stays out late, or somebody who, granted, I've never really had anybody to call me out of my name. I've never dealt with people that do that. But I wouldn't want that. I would want somebody to see the queen in me. Yeah. Even in times where I don't see it in myself, they want to bring it out of me. They want to bring me to a new level, and we can balance each other that way. Somebody who can be vulnerable with me, who trusts me, who's a friend to me, who wants to grow in those things. So that's what I want. Not more so, because it used to be more carnal, flesh things. But over time, it has changed.
Basically, like my bro said, you matured a lot. Okay. So that self-reflection, that's what it takes. Do her like you did the brothers and let her. Oh yeah, I was gonna do that. Lord, what? Yeah, I was gonna do that.
We don't see that.
Yeah, I was gonna do that. I was gonna. That's what we're gonna end with tonight. She's gonna say, "Dear future husband." We're gonna take it there, and after you get through finishing that, you want to pray us out?
Sure.
Okay, go ahead.
God, I need to put it aside, Lord Jesus. I don't know. Dear future husband, I am currently working on myself, and I hope you're doing the same. And hurry up, come find me. Come find me, okay? Or I might come find you. I don't know, depending on how it works. But just be working so we can both be right. So yeah, that's my statement.
That's it. That's all you're gonna say to that dear future husband? Well,
I'm over here, come get me.
She Bob the Builder, she done build you. Bob the Builder, yes.
I'm praying for you. That's what it is. I'm praying for you. So be praying for me. That's what I want to say. I'm praying for you. Be praying for me. Send up some prayers.
Oh, God, we so silly. But okay, go ahead and you're going to pray us out.
The pressure. Yes. Okay. Holy Spirit, we just thank you for being in the midst of everything that has been said today. I pray that anything that is not of you, that it falls to the wayside, but anything that is, hopefully everything was inspired by you. And I pray that it can help heal or encourage, uplift someone. I pray, Lord, that you do what only you can do with these meetings, with this time. Lord, I thank you for Renee. I thank you for what she's doing. I thank you for her courage to even do this week after week. I thank you for the audience for even tuning in, for giving their input, God. And I pray that as a community, we continue to grow. We continue to get better. We continue to know what love looks like inspired by you. That any negative thoughts, negative ideas that we have taken in about what love looks like, about what dating looks like, about what being single looks like, that they're erased. And that we can actually be healthy, we can be whole, we can be healed, because that's what we desire at the end of the day. But God, we won't know how to love each other until we know how to love you. And until we know how to love ourselves based upon that. So God, I pray that for everybody that's listening, that everybody that will be listening, everybody that will in future episodes watch, I pray that if anything, that you develop us and help us become the best version of ourselves that we can be, that we don't hurt any other people by giving them broken people. But let us be whole and let us be healed before we make connections to others. And help us be aware of the things that we're doing, because a lot of it is that we're not even aware of the decisions and the things that we're doing. But God, I pray that you open up our eyes, and once we become aware, help us to be able to strike change. And so we ask these things in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen. Amen. Guys, thank you for hopping on. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for your comments. As always, we love you. And help me say thank you to our let those hearts go up, send them up, send them up, send them up, send them up for our guest tonight. Thank you for coming on. Thank you for sharing with us.
Thank you for having me.
I mean, it's been good. It's been fun. I mean, you brought it.
I be nervous. No.
You brought it.
I don't like to be on camera. Renee always asks me to be on somebody's camera.
You brought it. You brought it. It was good. So, man, this was just excellent, guys. I mean, this. You don't grow. You have grown a lot too.
Thank you.
I mean, spiritually, from the first time that you came on. He said, "Don't be a stranger. Come on back and see us." Awesome job, ladies. Yeah, I mean, you done a great job. You have a lot of growth. I've seen a lot of spiritual growth tonight. So, guys, thank you for hopping on. Thank you for tuning in. As always, we love you here at Single, Saved, and Dating. Be blessed.